Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, my name is Fidaus Osman and I'm glad to have you guys here. Also, if you're new again, a Ghanaian living in Germany. I studied in Germany and I share studying and living experiences in Germany. Today I have a guest here with me. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. So, hello guest, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Detutu. I am a Nigerian and I'm also a YouTuber in Germany as well. Um, I came to Germany on a student visa and I've been able to successfully transition from being a student to being a worker here in Germany. I work in the finance space. My degree in Germany, a master's degree, was in economics. And and so far, so good. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you, Day Tutu. So Day Tutu is also a YouTuber. I'm going to put her details in the description. You guys would want to. She has a lot of information for you. Trust me. So after this video, go straight to her channel, go and subscribe, support, and then the most important thing is to take a lot of information from there. Okay. So Day Tutu, tell us about your experience studying in Germany. How was it?
Well, overall, if I want to just like summarize my experience studying in Germany, I would say it was bittersweet in the sense that, of course, there were some experiences that were fun, enjoyable. I met a lot of people. I built connections. I have friends that I've been able to sustain the friendship from when I came up until now. Um, I also had the opportunity to also complete a working student position for 1 year. I've gained experience. I've developed myself both professionally as an individual. Um, but in terms of the bitter part, of course, I struggled initially with working as a student and also like combining that with full-time study. And also because I was away from studying for a while, getting into studying consistently was also kind of something I struggled with in the beginning. But by consistent like try and errors, trying out new things, researching new ways to study and all of that, I was able to, find something that worked for me. Um, so basically, I think it was bittersweet overall, but it wasn't easy studying in Germany. It was completely different from what I was used to. Aside from the fact that I was away from studying as well for a while, but yeah, I'm also someone who asks questions. So asking questions, attending like office hours of professors, asking questions, having study groups also helped at one point, not in all situations. It doesn't apply to all courses. Um, yeah, and trying to be friends with people who seem to know what is happening in the class. That way you can easily like just go meet them and ask them questions. Okay, I don't understand this, can you please explain? And then they tell you, okay, right now they have another class, but perhaps in maybe during lunchtime you guys can meet in the library or something. So yeah, that was studying in Germany for me, I would say.
Okay, thank you. I forgot I was muted. So you mentioned like during your studies you were also working as you had a position of a working student. But alongside, did you also have an internship along the way of your studies?
No, I actually consider having a working student position as an internship as well. The only difference is you're working 20 hours and then for an internship you're working full time, but for a shorter time frame, which is why it was a 1 year contract, right? And how did I even get this internship? It was in finance, yes, it was in investor relations. I don't have any background or experience in investor relations. I'm interested in most aspects of finance anyway. So when I saw this position, I was like, I'm not really sure about this because I read the job description. It made sense. It was something I felt I could do. But then I was a little bit skeptical because my thought process then was if I do an internship now, then that would mean that I'll probably have to start a career in that field. And because I didn't have experience, like I had no idea of what investor relations consisted of, it was I wasn't sure anyway. So one of my friends kept on pushing like, "Have you applied? Have you applied? Have you applied?" And I was like, "No, no, no." She was like, "Just apply." The worst thing that they will say is no, right? And which is a really good way to think about life in general. Like just putting your best, and if it's not going to come out as you expected, then at least you know that you tried, right? So I applied. I did 2 rounds of interviews, and I got the internship. It was even very strange because, to be honest, I wasn't expecting that I would get it because, again, I didn't have any background. But being a working student position, they are open to training you like on what you need to do, how you can help them with their own day to day and everything. So that was how I got the internship. Basically, it was a 1 year internship. I really enjoyed my time there. They were really helpful people. They answered my questions. They just wanted you to learn, basically. So yeah, it was a nice experience, I'd say, and I would highly recommend that if you're studying in Germany or wherever it is you are right now and you're studying, look for an internship, look for an opportunity for you to work professionally whilst you're studying. So it will really help you.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, as we've heard, there's also like internship, there's working student. I think internship and working student is like kind of the same thing. Just that internship is full time and working student is part time. And with working students, you can combine with your school as you're going to class. When you have time, you go to your workplace. Or yeah, and also I think you can also make use of heavy jobs in the universities. They also count as experience. Okay, so all these things are plausible. All right then. So after you, I know now you're working. After your graduation and everything, now I know you've moved into the corporate space. So tell us about your working in the corporate world and some of the tips of for job application. Was German like a factor? The language, right? I really want to know about the language. Was it like a factor in you finding a job?
Yeah, so I'm going to speak based on my own experience. I can't really say like overall for every field. I work in finance, yes, which I would also categorize as the business like path of professions, right? So yes, I took the like I took it like I took it upon myself. I took it upon myself to learn the language because I had this like impression that for me to be able to like build a career, progress and like develop myself and to to get promoted, to have like career progression, learning German and speaking German to at least a convenient level would be to my advantage. So every opportunity I got to learn German, I harnessed it. And I tried to learn German by attending evening classes, but that did not work for me. So I made sure that, okay, any free time I have, like for example, I had like a space in between my studies. I decided to learn German like for the whole duration of time, that's up until B1. And then from then I didn't learn German intensively. And then when I started working, I also had like a 3 month kind of break. 4 months, I think. I learned German as well, and that really helped me. Like now, I've learned German up until B2. Find there are some gaps here and there due to like not using it as you would if you're speaking English, right? But it has improved considerably in comparison to like a year ago or 2 years ago. Now, when it comes to the corporate world, I would say like it depends on how you choose to like approach it. And I'll say one of the main factors that comes to play is the people you work with. People you work with can make or mar your like how well you enjoy your job, or how well you can get promoted, or how well your career is going to go, basically. Especially like your manager, for example. If you're not like in good terms with your manager, it can affect you. So building relationships, I'm not saying like you have to be friends with your colleagues or anything, but have like a platonic relationship with them, such that they are the kind of people you can have like lunch with, for example, talk about things about like work and also about private life. Doesn't mean you should go about and be talking about your private like personal business and stuff, but to some extent they should be people you can easily interact with, because then they are more open to, let you be aware of, for example, like opportunities that might be open but they are not aware of, or tell you about the training that is coming up. If they like you, that is when they will tell you all these things. If not, then I'm sorry, nothing positive is going to come out of it. So try to build relationships, like expand your network, be inquisitive about what is happening in the company, know more about the business, be interested in the business, also be willing to help. If someone is maybe not in the office for a while, be like the person who, not all the time, of course, because you obviously have a life, but be the kind of person that they can rely on to take up like the slack of things. Are like maybe someone is not around, or someone is on holiday, they can be like, okay, this person can take up the slack that we currently have at this time frame. So yeah, that's that. For the application process, um I have a different approach when it comes to applications, actually, and that is based off of what I have worked on and that works for me. And one of them is that I don't apply, I look for jobs. Like I search for jobs on all the job sites and everything, but I never apply on the job sites. I go directly to the company website to apply on the page. And every time I do an interview, I always make sure I connect with the people that interviewed me. Like, of course, before the interview, I'll research them. After the interview, I connect with them on LinkedIn, which is the typical website you connect with them, not Instagram. So LinkedIn, I'll connect with them, and then I always do a follow up. So if after a while I've not heard back from them, even though there's a possibility that it might be a negative response, I still reach out to them to kind of like, I think for me it's more like to cross that out. Okay, I know for a fact that I did not hear back from them, than having like silence, not knowing what the outcome of the interview was. Um, what else do I do? I also tell people that I'm job hunting. My friends, like the way we are, it's more like, okay, somebody needs help. I found this job posting, they send it to me, I check it out, I apply with it. If I find a job posting, I think someone is going to be a suitable candidate, I send it, they apply, and that's just how we kind of try to motivate ourselves. So you can't be job hunting and just keep quiet and think you can do it on your own. For example, had my friend not encouraged me to send the application for my working student position, I probably would not even have that experience at all. And luckily, I was able to get my first full-time job, also in investor relations. Probably that would not have even happened at all as well, right? Yes, maybe I would have gotten a different internship or a different working position, but would never know. Okay, so I'd say just let people know, put in the effort, of course. Try to write a cover letter, because it also makes you stand out from every other person who's just randomly sending out their CV. Tailor your CV to the application. I have like a PDF of 450 companies to apply to in Germany. It's going to land you directly on the career page, so you don't have to, because not all jobs are also advertised on like all these job sites. Some of them are only on the company website, right? And sometimes the jobs are also expired already from the company side, but you are still seeing it on the job sites. So going directly to the company website, you know the jobs that are still active, and you know that you can apply to them, and you would at least be considered for the application, which is why I approach it that way. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, I actually took a lot from this because I'm also in the space of like applying to jobs, and I really learned so much from this. Thank you very much. One thing I want to know is, with Germany, the CV thing with the picture, do you think is really necessary?
Can you say that again?
In Germany, the CV, sometimes they say it's not compulsory, but you should put your picture on the CV. Do you think it's important? Do you think it can affect you in getting a job or not, or getting an interview?
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Again, when I talk about most things, I talk about it from a personal like perspective. Now, I personally have like a different opinion about putting your your pictures on your resume. Why? Because people can just see your picture, and just feel like, I don't think I can work with this person, and that's the end of it. No one is going to question them. No one is, like, you would not even know that that is the reason why you were taken out of the people to be considered for the position. So my advice is, do not put your picture on your CV. I think it's also like an old school way of sending applications. Why should how I look, why should my picture be important for the position when my skills and my experience should be considered for the position? Nobody cares about how I look, nobody cares about how I dress, nobody should care if I have a tattoo on my face. It should be about, okay, what does this person bring to the table that can add value to our team? Right? And yes, even up until last year, I still had a conversation with like a government body that helped with editing CV and stuff. And the lady still said, "Yeah, my CV is not updated. I need to like update it and add my like I need to add my picture. I need to add my country of origin. I need to add my, that is as far as like, I told her, yeah, fine, no problem. But I knew what I was going to do, which was, I'm not going to add any of that. My date of birth is not necessary. Where I come from does is not important. You understand? So, and I think if you work, if a company prioritizes all these things I mentioned, then it's probably not so. It's not somewhere I want to work. I want to work in a place where it's not about where I'm from. It's about my capabilities and how I can add value and how they can also help me with my career progression. So that's what I have to say about that.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, this thing is so confusing to me because, like, once I went to a career thing in my university, and the lady was going through our CVs, and she was so keen on the picture. Can you hear me? She was so like keen on the picture thing, and it's almost as if it's like compulsory to put a picture, but like it depends on the recruiter or the company. But yeah, this thing is so confusing. When I'm applying for jobs, it depends on my mood. Sometimes I use the CV with the picture, sometimes without the picture. So this thing really is like confusing. It's like, I think Germany should come out with a rule and say don't put a picture. That's, because it's kind of like, as soon as I put my picture, I say, this person is from this list. I'm not going to select her. Oh, or this person is black, so let me take her because of diversity. It's very confusing. But yes, anyways, I think we are coming to the end of the interview now. There are lots of people who are willing to come to Germany and all of that. Do you have any advice for them, or somebody who wants to move from Africa to Germany to work? I know Germany is coming up with this skilled worker staff thing. Would you advise somebody to move to Germany to work or to school? You know.
Of course. Yes. Yes. I would highly recommend Germany as a choice location for studying or for working. Studying, why? Because like it's tuition free for most of the public universities, not all the universities and not all regions. So if you're applying, pay attention to the regions that now require you to pay tuition fees. But typically, it's tuition free. You also get the opportunity to work whilst you're studying if you so choose. There are a lot of opportunities available to internationals. Like there is no discrimination at all for if you find a good company, really. Like, but overall, most companies will not discriminate that, because you are from wherever XYZ country, then we are not going to consider you. It's more about your abilities and what you have up there, right, and how you can add value to their company or their team. Um, Also, as a student coming to Germany, you get the opportunity to explore other parts of Europe. Germany is part of the Schengen region, and I think students should not only look at like, oh, I'm only here to study. Education is also traveling and exploring your environment, getting to know what's happening around you. That's also another way to educate yourself. Um, when it comes to working, I think it's an amazing place to work because aside from the opportunity to work with people from diverse backgrounds, because not only Germans work in German companies, right? You see how you learn how people work that is a little bit different from where you come from. It's a completely different way of working. It's more, how do I say it? I don't know what word to use, but it's different basically. And then learning to work that way in a much more organized, structured, paced way, it also helps you to be able to like focus on other things that are happening like in your life and all of that. You get the opportunity to learn a new language. And yeah, there's also opportunity to advance yourself professionally. There is no okay, like if you've worked in a place for a while and you've contributed your quota to the progress of the company, right? There, the expectation is that you are going to be promoted. So there is an opportunity for career progression. There's an opportunity to, take courses. Some companies also sponsor like professional courses you want to take. They encourage you to even like explore opportunities to develop yourself as an individual or like as a professional. So yeah, Germany. I did not choose Germany as my first choice when I was considering universities to complete my masters, but I don't regret coming to Germany at all. It's a top it's a top choice, to be honest. And also, I want to mention something else. Like in comparison to other places, like people are looking into now, like for example, UK. In Germany, there you don't have to pay for like a post study visa. You only need a job contract to be able to change your visa from a student visa to a work visa. You're not paying a dime for that, right? You also do not need any company to sponsor you. You have a contract from the company, you get your work visa. There is no like back door, or there is not like no hidden fees basically. Just go to the foreigners office, submit your application, and your visa gets converted. So of course, there are some downsides as well, which we're not going to talk about in this video because they're all about the positives.
Maybe we can come
But
again sometime again. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I'd highly recommend Germany as a choice location for study and also for working as a professional. So yeah, and like even if you don't come here as a student, right? You can come to Germany on a work visa. You can come to Germany to come and do an Ausbildung, to come and do a training. So there are different ways for you to migrate to Germany. Just read up on it and explore like what options are available to you.
So day two to one thing I have realized is those who studied the finance courses, economics, quantitative finance, accounting, they easily get jobs in Germany. Am I wrong?
Um,
Because all the people I know from my university, they are all working now, to be honest. They don't really speak German, but they are in Frankfurt and Luxembourg, you know.
yep. So I wouldn't say they get jobs easily. Yeah, I had my own fair share of like struggling to find a job, right? But maybe because like you always have a finance department in every company. So maybe you have more opportunities for people in these fields than people who are more like who have a more defined like field. I don't know what comes, nothing comes to mind right now. But like if any company would have a finance department, you have an admin department, you have a HR department. So if you studied any of this, or and a marketing department too, or a business development department. So if you if just and that's just one company, compared to if the company is solely focused on psychology, for example, or psychological research or something like that, right? Then it's the number of people they will employ for the actual research, which is the core of the business, would be limited in comparison to okay, they're employing people in admin, they need HR services and all of that, right? So if you put that into consideration for all the companies in Germany, you have more opportunities available to people in the business like field, if you want to put it that way, than people who are in a more different field, like maybe sciences or stuff like that. That's my thought process. I might be wrong, but that's how I see it.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we've had so much information today. So we have to end here, try and digest this, work on it, implement it, and then you just don't watch and then just go and sit down. No. And then the thing people don't know is finding a job is not easy. You have to send in
It's not.
so many applications. Even getting an interview. Like nowadays, I'm always checking my email and I see the
Yes.
subject interview, and I'm like, I'm excited because even to get an interview is so hard, to get someone to say, oh, this CV, okay, let's give you a chance. And that's all you need, right? The
Yeah.
interview
You only
stage.
need one job. You only need one job. You only need someone to
Yeah.
give you a chance. So yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's keep pushing. I'm also in the same soup. We are pushing and pushing. And maybe the next time I talk to you, I'm going to give you a good news. Who knows?
Amen. Hopefully. Amen. Amen. Hopefully.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Detitu. Thank you for coming here. You guys go and subscribe to her channel. She has a lot of information. Lots of information. And I'll keep sharing to you guys. You guys should go there and subscribe. Thank you so much, Detitu. And hope
Thank you
to
for
see you
having me.
again on this platform, on your
Yeah.
platform,
Yeah.
anywhere. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. Take
Bye.
care. Bye.